Born in Nantes, 1828, caught between the world of law and the call of the sea. Enchanted by the Loire, he promised his father to travel only in his imagination. In Paris, he traded the courtroom for the stage, embracing the bohemian life of art. Guided by Dumas, Verne found his true voice in the magic of the Parisian theatre. Seeking stability for love, he worked the stock exchange while his stories began to bloom. Every like and subscribe helps this small channel grow. Join our journey into history. Travels to the north inspired him, even as he missed the birth of his only son. The meeting with Hetzel changed everything, launching a balloon toward worldwide success. The Extraordinary Voyages were born, a grand mission to chronicle the entire world. Verne sought to teach science through wonder, turning geography into an epic adventure. From the Nautilus to the moon, his masterpieces became timeless icons of progress. A visionary architect, he blended mechanical rigor with the boundless dreams of the future. Following the path of Edgar Allan Poe, he mastered the art of logic and mystery. A dark prophecy of a machine-driven world, his rejected novel warned of progress without soul. Fame and fortune allowed him to sail the Saint-Michel across the oceans he loved. Behind the legendary success, Verne guarded a private life of pain and quiet secrets. A tragic shot from his own nephew left him wounded, forever changing his spirit. As shadows fell, his optimism faded, warning of the dangers of uncontrolled technology. Devoted to his community, the aging author served as a counselor for 15 years. In 1905, the journey ended, but the architect's world remained open to all. A legacy unrivaled, Verne remains the guide for every dreamer who looks to the stars. Orphaned at 2, young Edgar was left to face a cold world alone. Taken to England, he absorbed the Gothic shadows of a prestigious boarding school. At university, meager funds led him into a spiraling vortex of gambling debts. Fleeing his debts, he hid his true name and joined the army in Boston. Defiant and disinherited, he deliberately rebelled to escape the rigid walls of West Point. Seeking refuge in Baltimore, he turned his struggling pen to prose just to survive. As a ruthless editor, his razor-sharp reviews earned him the title Tomahawk Man. He found rare stability in a devoted yet highly unusual marriage to Virginia. Every like and subscribe helps this small channel grow. Join our journey into history. Using pure logic, Poe invented the very first modern detective in literary history. He even applied his brilliant analytical mind to solve real-life murder mysteries. Fascinated by science, his visionary and technical tales launched the foundations of science fiction. He became the absolute master of the macabre, exploring humanity's darkest psychological terrors. To him, writing wasn't accidental. Every word was mathematically calculated for maximum emotional impact. The Raven brought him instant worldwide fame, yet left him trapped in bitter poverty. The tragic, lingering death of his beloved Virginia pushed him toward the dark abyss. In his final years, his brilliant mind obsessed over the cosmic origins of the universe. A final, fleeting summer brought a brief spark of hope and a promise of marriage. Days later, he was found delirious in a gutter, wearing another man's soiled clothes. Calling out to Reynolds, he died in agony, leaving behind a perpetual, unsolved mystery. Today, his dark genius remains immortal, forever haunting the foundations of modern literature. Born to radical thinkers, Mary's life began under the profound shadow of her mother's intellectual legacy. Raised among philosophers, young Mary once hid beneath a sofa to hear Coleridge recite mystical verses. At 16, Mary and Percy Shelley found love amidst the silence of her mother's sacred grave. Defying society, they fled to France, beginning an epic journey of intellectual and romantic rebellion. Haunted by loss, Mary dreamed of rubbing life back into the cold body of her child. Every like and subscribe helps this small channel grow. Join our journey into history. Inside a storm-lashed villa, a ghost story challenge sparked the most famous monster in literary history. From a waking dream, Mary envisioned the pale student and his patchwork creature, birthing a masterpiece. Shadowed by tragic suicides, Mary and Percy married, seeking a new beginning amidst a world of mourning. Published in 1818, Frankenstein challenged scientific arrogance and founded the genre of modern science fiction. In Italian exile, the merciless loss of her children deepened the dark, somber tones of Mary's heart. She turned grief into art, writing Matilda and Valperga to protest tyranny and her own despair. A sudden storm in 1822 left Mary a widow at 24, her beloved Percy lost at sea. Back in London, Mary fought for survival, earning her way through relentless and brilliant intellectual labor. In The Last Man, she imagined a world silenced by plague, a devastating critique of human pride. Her historical novels rejected male violence, celebrating the power of female compassion and domestic ties. Beneath Victorian virtue, Mary's later works were secret protests against patriarchal oppression and social injustice. As a multilingual scholar, she built a feminist history through the private lives of Europe's great minds. Mary meticulously curated Percy's chaotic legacy, single-handedly building the literary legend we recognize today. In her final travels, she combined personal nostalgia with a passionate plea for European freedom. Mary Shelley died in 1851, the immortal founding mother of science fiction and modern dystopian thought.